Okay, let's get into it. Cancer rising. Saturn just moved into Aries yesterday, and the career pressure is really going to reveal like who's built for this and who's not. So Saturn moving into Aries, Saturn is a planet that literally brings structure, stability. It puts a little bit of pressure, it brings lessons, but it's because nothing comes easy. It's all about doing it right and not taking any shortcuts. The thing about Saturn moving into Aries for you is that it's hitting your 10th house of career, but Neptune is already sitting there, and this transit is going to be intense because it's going to last a while. The way I like to describe it is like Saturn builds and corrects, and Neptune dissolves and creates illusions around things. So when it comes to your career, it's going to be twofold. On the Neptune side, the career that you might be pursuing might not be the right one for you. Something about it may be off, something about it, there might be illusions around it. Saturn is just going to come shake that up and kind of bring awareness to it. So maybe like your dream job won't be your destiny, but after this transit is done, 2.5, 3 years later, you're going to be like, oh my God, I should have been on this path a long time ago. So the Saturn piece, you might feel a little bit more pressure in your career. You might have a little bit more drive to be like, what am I doing? Does this actually matter to me? Does it make me happy? I'll be honest, your discipline is going to be tested, your commitment is going to be tested, your stamina is going to be tested, but it's also going to make you step into your leadership, right? So Saturn naturally rules the 10th house in Capricorn, so it's going to bring a much needed groundedness that you've been needing for a while. It's almost like you might get a promotion or you might take on a bigger role and you might have to kind of grow up and level up, right? Your reputation is going to be more important to you. You're going to care more about your career. Now, on the Neptune side, you're almost going to stop performing. So it's almost like there's a push and pull, right? On the one side, you're going to want to build containment and structure and work harder and have a plan and be more strategic when it comes to like your legacy, what you're known for, the work that you do. You might be triggered by your bosses. You might be frustrated with how things are going, but like that pressure, that Saturn pressure is what's going to make you like a diamond. It's going to make you kind of dig a little bit deeper and find a resilience and a drive that you may not have had in the past. Now, Neptune is more the illusions and the disappointments and things maybe not going according to plan, or finding that you are disillusioned with the work that you're doing and being like, man, I went to school for this, I committed to this thing, and now that I'm here, it doesn't fulfill me. Like that's kind of the feel that it's going to bring. So it's going to feel a little bit frustrating, that push and pull, but every time you kind of buckle down and you set structure and a plan and you start moving on purpose, it's almost like you're going to clarify your path as you're moving forward. So Neptune is going to dissolve all the illusions you have around your career. Saturn is going to build your career. And again, for someone who's not used to being so driven and so committed, because I know Cancer rising, babe, your thing is leading with your heart and your intuition and being so connected. Your career has a very different energy. Aries is all about leadership and pioneering and taking the spotlight and getting things done and being a leader. Saturn is going to mold you into that leader. Saturn is going to make you push yourself to be a leader, to be a pioneer, to say what you mean, to not be afraid, to take charge. So it's going to be that dynamic. On the Neptune side, you might leap before you're ready. You might be a little bit too impulsive. You might learn some things the hard way, but ultimately after this 2.5 to 3 year transit, you are going to be a changed person. Also, you're going to dream a little bit bigger because Neptune is going to inflate your idea of yourself, and you're going to be like, wow, I could really pursue that thing that felt so far-fetched. Saturn is going to help you get there. So it's almost like saying, man, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and then this is the season when you're like, man, I really, really want it. And it might not come easy. You might have some hurdles. It might be a bit frustrating, but you leading with that Aries energy is like, I'm ready to start my own business. I can do it. And when you look back in 3 years, you're going to say, wow, I would have never dreamt this big or believed that I could do it. But Saturn is going to get you there. Best way that I can put it for you is you are going to go in for the long term. You're going to commit. You're going to really see things all the way through. And if something is not aligned and you've been doing a career or a job that doesn't fulfill you, it's going to become really, really apparent, and you're just going to pivot, right? Like disillusionment is part of the Neptune signature. On the Saturn side is, you know what, back up. We got things to do. We got places to be. We got money to make. So you might actually be really successful over the next 3 years. It's just not going to come easy. You're going to have to kind of get back on the path of like what you're meant to do. So that's kind of the energy that is going to be bringing to you. The biggest thing here is creativity and structure is your friend. You are building a legacy. The 10th house is all about a legacy, is what you're known for. This is not just like, oh, I clocked in and out. Like whatever you're building in the next 2.5 years, you are going to shock yourself and be like, holy crap, I did that. So I need you to get excited. This is not anything to be afraid of. Saturn is just one of those planets that bring lessons. Now, it's not a Saturn return unless your natal Saturn is in Aries, in which case, my love, it might be a toughie, but it's a needed one because this is the time when you step into your calling. It's almost like your soul, your purpose, and your drive all come together, and you're going to become the person you're meant to become. Now, if you have other planets in the 10th house, they are going to interact with both Saturn and Neptune, so it might feel a little bit more dicey. But all things considered, you're going to come in one person, you're going to come out the other side and be like, holy crap, my career, my life, my finances, my legacy, I know exactly where I'm going, who I am, and how to get there. I hope this helped, my love. Let me know. And actually, let me know if you're already experiencing this, because I feel like Saturn and Neptune have been together for the last few weeks. So you may already be seeing glimpses of what it's going to look like as it's crumbling. But I promise you, my love, it's going to come back together. Comment here if that resonated for you.